Welcome back. If you are having a baby soon or you know someone who is, we have Jill Byrd joining us today. She owns Bird's Eye View Photography. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and Jill specializes, or one of her specialties, is taking pictures of newborns. So we thought we would dedicate the segment today towards learning about some of the tips that you can learn about ahead of time so that you can make sure that your newborn photo shoot goes as well as possible.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So is this what you do? Is this your favorite thing to do, or?
That's one of, I love newborn photography and toddler and family, but newborn, it's just something special, just being able to capture the newborn essence of this tiny little baby, just a few days old.
And I've seen your work. We're going to see the pictures in just a minute, but I can't imagine what goes into this. There's obviously some things that you have to prepare ahead of time. So why don't we start with that? How does it go from your end to ensure that those angelic pictures turn out as well as they do?
Definitely. So basically what I do when I find out when the baby's born and we know the sex of the baby, then I can start planning the session for a boy or a girl. So basically arranging buckets, crates, blankets, wraps, tiebacks, bonnets, making a cohesive look to the session so it all flows with colors and textures. And then just really educating the parents too that it's important that we book the session when baby is between about 5 or 9 days old. There's not a certain, day 4 they're not good for pictures, or day 10 they're not good for pictures, but that's a nice sweet spot because babies by day 5, if mom chooses to breastfeed, her milk is probably arrived, so baby's feeling a lot more full after this each feed, so more content. Babies are still very sleepy and very moldable into their positions, into those womb-like positions that parents desire for those pictures. So.
Would day 5 to 9 still be that sort of recovery time where they're pretty mellow, their tummies are full because they're getting milk,
yes,
and they're liking to sleep?
Exactly, the sleep is definitely. So in the studio, the combination of a full tummy and a warm room really helps them just settle and be calm and go to sleep.
So the room's pretty warm.
Yeah, well, because with babies, you think if when they're inside mommy's tummy, they're 98.6 degrees in there. It's very warm. So although they've been out for a few days, they still like that warm, coziness to feel comfortable and secure. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Let's take a quick look at some of these pictures. They're sort of on a timed reel. So as we go through them, you can see here, I mean, how beautiful are these pictures? How beautiful. Do they not fuss at all getting into this crate? I know there's pillows, but...
Definitely. When I do them in props like this, safety is the #1 concern, so they're always weighted with weights to counter them, especially with a baby on the edge like that and having a spotter. When I do these props specifically, I want baby to be very asleep. So if they're fussy at all, I'm definitely I won't go to the props that way. We can go further. So this is like a beanbag prop. So baby's on a large beanbag, blanket on them, propped up. It's a lot safer, definitely. So I'm right there, not very far back from the baby at all. If I ever had to leave that beanbag, then I would ask a parent to come and stand by baby. This is a beautiful wake shot of a little baby. So even if babies aren't sleepy, they're content and happy. You can get a beautiful eye contact picture of them. And it's just neat. See all the textures, with the rug there and coordinating all the pinks together. And this last one is actually a composite. So mom was actually holding onto baby's head.
Nice.
Dad was right there behind baby, and the beanbag is just below baby's feet there.
Right.
It's fixed afterwards.
Right. So no danger.
Of course not. No, of course the safety is the #1 concern with the little babies. No shot is ever worth risking their safety for sure.
Absolutely. So, you must have tips then for parents who are coming in with their infants in terms of what they can do to ensure that things go well.
Definitely. I always say before a session, about an hour before the session, try and keep baby awake, show them their environment, walk them around the house, and then just before they're going to leave, feed the baby. And then when they come and see me, some babies need a top up, some more milk, and some are good to go. Every baby's different, and you just have to go with the flow. And patience, I mean, I have lots of patience, but I love it. So and I have 2 girls myself, so I know what it's like to be a new parent and be sleep deprived and wondering if baby's going to be latching well when you're just kind of getting used to everything. So
yes,
it's good to have that support. And I've actually come very close with a lot of the moms that I've photographed their babies, or we've made friendships afterwards, because it is such an intimate time you're together and stuff. So, yeah.
And I assume that you also take pictures of the parents if you would like that as well.
Definitely. Most do opt for having their pictures taken, and I always encourage encourage it, because I know the moms don't necessarily always feel like they're the greatest after just having birth, but you're going to look back on those pictures in years, and your baby's never going to be that tiny again, and just to have that nice intimate picture of you cuddling them is really important.
You do a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Jill. Yeah, beautiful work
I love
there.
it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here today. Jill Byrd, of course, sharing office space with Sarah Schreiner. She's in for Sarah today, who's usually here for a regular segment, but you guys share some space in your Dallas store.
Yeah, so Exposure had just recently moved to Dallas. It used to be downtown, and it's a gigantic space. We have a beautiful wood wide plank floor and backdrop, and then Sarah's brought in some old barnwood walls, so it's evolving, and it's limitless with the space we have, for
Fantastic.
sure.
Well, thank you for sharing some of your tips with us today.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Information on the screen, birdseyeviewphotography.ca as well. You can find her on Facebook. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.